All right, man. What's up, everybody? This is the Triplet podcast, you know? Somebody gonna have to pick Troy, and someone gonna have
I'll
to
be
pick
Troy.
Michael Irvin and Emmett. So you Troy, right?
I'll be Troy. I go with Troy.
Troy? All right, you the playmaker, Law. I'll be Emmett.
Oh, okay. Okay, you Emmett. Okay, you gonna keep everything consistent.
I'm gonna
You
be Emmett.
outlived us all, man. Hey, that little intro was like the slowest music I ever heard ever on one of my intros.
Little
That's
elevator
the
music
that's
for
the whole
everybody.
music.
It's that whole elevator music, man. Man, this is what we do here, Cowboy Nation, and everybody that's listening. There will be no final word for a couple of weeks. We just sitting back or what have you and refreshing. But y'all know, with me, there's a certain theme that I got going, and it's
No days off. No days off.
no days off, man. So I got my guy, J Tuck, and CFT, Mr. Raw, man. Any one of you guys want to say something before we get going?
Yeah, what's going on, Cowboys Nation, man? I'm happy to be back. I've been on vacation. I've been outside the country for the past month, so happy to be back, get back to it. I got my brothers here with me. It's a perfect start, man, getting ready for this NFL season. What's going on, everybody in the chat? What's up, Dwayne?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Look, appreciate you having me. You know what I'm saying? My
Uh-huh.
brother Jay Tuck, that's my tag team champion. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We be dominating on the channels every time we come out. But yeah, man, I appreciate you bringing me on. I know everybody, it's the dead time of the year, so they don't think it's nothing to talk about, but it's always something to talk about with the Cowboys.
Always something, man. I'm telling people, man, all you got to do in the morning time when you wake up after you thank the good Lord or what have you, brush your teeth and wash your face, just go to Google and type in Dallas Cowboys news and just pick a topic.
Right.
It's all good.
Just pick a topic. I literally saw this morning J Tuck name out there in the streets, man. So talk to me, man. What's happening, man? What's going on with that?
Yeah, and I think that's something a lot of people don't understand about us and some of the others in this YouTube community. We are content creators. And so when people think it's dead time, our thought process, because we are such dying Cowboys fans, we can
Right.
create a thought process. And so I was just having a conversation with people on Twitter, like, I felt like the Cowboys last year, y'all, we had a good roster. It was 12-5. It didn't end the way that we wanted the season to end. And I felt like my biggest frustration with this offense was that the Cowboys front office didn't build off of that. I felt like they kind of disrupted some of the flow and some of the continuity that we had and kind of blew up the roster, and we're kind of rebuilding with some question marks. So just having a general conversation with my Cowboys family. Well, my guy Tom from Blogging with the Boys took that, ran a whole article about it. So it's been a hot topic conversation what we definitely could talk about. But I just feel like the Cowboys didn't do enough to build off of last year. We kind of reset, and we got a lot of question marks going into this offseason.
Ooh-wee. So just off of that alone,
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
hey, that's something we don't know. So
Right.
we can beat on our chest all day and spit things out to the public about, man, Amari Cooper gone. And shout out to Boss Cowboy when he said this on his show a couple of weeks ago. He was like, shoot, low key that Amari Cooper's contract, it's looking sweet right about now.
Real
He's
sweet.
right on the money on it with that.
Mhm.
What your people says, Mr. Rome?
Yeah, man. Look. The way I don't know if y'all was tapped in with my video did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That was just me. Basically, I get this all the time. I get that you overly optimistic. You know what I'm saying? You always seeing the glass half full, And I just look at it like this. It's the off season.
Right.
I am not going to write the team off immediately unless it's something catastrophic that didn't happen.
Right.
Like, I don't even want to speak into existence. I'm just saying, like, when like top players go down and you like, all right, I really got to shift my thinking. It's just week to week at this point. I'm not coming out here and saying that, the Super Bowl thing and nothing like that. I'm not that type of optimistic fan. I'm just every week I see a way for my team to win. We're building an off season. We got a lot of young talent, and it's a lot of, like you just played, it's a lot of unknown.
Right.
Is it known?
No.
That's really, That's really what I got to lean on. I got to lean on the fact that we're young and hungry, and that I can see the upside in a lot of players. Mm-hmm. I can see if I was out here trying to say, you know what, Matt Walesko's about to turn into Tyron Smith. I can see it happening. You know, I'm not that. I'm not tripping.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I can see how Neville Gallimore could turn into a legitimate D tackle if things go the way it's supposed to. I can see Osa taking that step because Osa flashed a bunch last year. I don't feel like I'm tripping when I say that, even though fans jump down my back about it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I can see if Zeke stays healthy, how he could have even had an even better year last year. And I can point to something that was the line of demarcation. Like, that's when it went down. I can look at Dak's season and say, when that calf injury hit, his play went off the rails. Yep. I'm not going to choose to ignore. Me and Tuck were talking about it earlier.
Right.
I'm not going to choose to ignore obvious things just to bolster my negative point. I.e., Dak Prescott should have been celebrated last year for coming off of a career-ending ankle injury, a shoulder injury in training camp, and he came out through for 37 touchdowns, 4,400 yards, and won 11 games. If you want to get another game, the Cooper Rush. Well, my point is, if there was anybody else, I said it earlier, if it was Josh Allen, all you would have heard was, did you see how he came back off that injury? He a warrior.
Right.
They didn't bring up his injury all year. And it's just like one of those things, like if you got a negative mindset, you'll find every avenue to look at the team as negative.
Right.
I just choose to look at it in the other light because I remember, like, a lot of people have revisionist history last year. I was around last year. Since I do YouTube, I remember the build-up of last year's season was the same as this one. It was, our offense is great, but our defense is so terrible, we're not going to win that many games. I got us at 8. I got us at 9. And I was like, I don't know. I feel like we can be pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Micah doing what Micah did quite yet. I ain't a prophet. I'm just saying I saw us playing a lot better because I had faith in Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
You know, and things like that. But it was just more so support in what could be a positive thing. And my optimistic self, I did pick 12 wins. But I'm not saying it because when I look at the schedule, and I'll let y'all go. When I look at the schedule, when I break it down, I look at it like logically. I couldn't see last year us losing 8-9 games. I couldn't see it. And when I look at the schedule this year, I'm like, I don't see 8-9 quarterbacks just beating us down. I'm sorry. Not what our defense is actually legitimate now. Even if we don't have all those turnovers. What 8 quarterbacks or 9 quarterbacks is just going to whoop up on us? Even with the offense maybe taking a step back. So that's just the way I look at things. I know people hate my optimism, but they're going to have to get over it.
Man, they definitely going to have to get over it, man. What's your thoughts on everything, J Tuck?
Yeah. Oh my God, I said nice stand, Tuck. Yeah, man, I'm dark as hell. Okay. But yeah, man. I'm hella darker than Cam right now. But yeah, I think, when we go back to last year, like you mentioned, I think the reason that a lot of Cowboys fans, myself included, was optimistic is because we knew we were going to have Dak Prescott, and we could always lean on the offense. Like, that was my thing. Like, hey, you give me Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup and Dak back, I'm taking us versus anybody. But I feel like right now it's kind of foreign territory where it's like offense kind of, I don't know where we're going with offensively with it. And so we're going to be leaning on the defense a little bit more. So my concern is, what if the offense isn't what we're accustomed to it being? That means the defense has to step up even more. Now, as long as Dak Prescott's out there, y'all, 8-9 wins, Grant. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at the schedule from that standpoint. But what I'm looking at is from being a serious Super Bowl contender. And as of right now, I feel like there's a lot of question marks. Y'all know I'm CeeDee Lamb's #1 fan, right? You have CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup's coming off the injury. Will he be the same? How long is it going to take him to rev up? You also have Jalen Tolbert, who I was high on the draft, but he's a rookie. James Washington on improvements, because not only did we lose Amari Cooper, people forget that we lost that utility knife in Cedric Wilson as well, who had a lot of continuity with Dak, was our punt return, that kind of guy that we can always lean on when things kind of hit the fan. And so right now, besides CD, I don't know about the wide receiver core. So when I'm trying to do these, breakdowns, it's like, I don't know what James Washington can be. He can be that guy, or he could be a complete bust. And then that's really where it's going to really put us. And then we look at the offensive line. I know we lost Connor Williams, which everyone's okay with. I'm okay with as well. But you got to think about Tyler Smith, though I think he's going to be phenomenal. He's never played the position before. And so it's going to take some growing pains. When you look at Terrence Steele had a decent season, but he didn't play a full season.
That's somebody I got faith in, though.
Yeah, Terrence played. Terrence only played a few games, and he had that insurance policy of Lyle Collins. So let's be honest. Last year, all we needed Terrence Steele was to be better than he was in 2020. Because when we found out Lyle got suspended, we were all kind of cold and like, all right, come on, Terrence. And he held it down. But now we got to see Terrence really being that guy. But now what really happens is we lose that flexibility of him being our swing tackle. We don't know who's our swing tackle right now from Tyron Smith, who's already shown some kind of little nagging injuries in camp already. And so those question marks, it kind of wavers me a little bit compared to my confidence I had last year. So that's where I'm just kind of speaking from.
Well, this all circle back to number 4. And this, regardless, people will judge Dak Prescott on can he win not just in the regular season, but now in the postseason. It was given to Peyton Manning that he was the regular season hero. I heard the flack that he got when he got into the postseason. He faltered. So I'm gonna ask you two that's here right now. I'm the odd guy because I don't have the Dallas upside down hat. I need to give me one of those, man. For real. Yeah, man. Look. No. Y'all keep it. It looks good. It looks like we planned this. Like you put me in the middle with the band and you give you two those hats there. But this goes back to Rain Dakota Prescott. Mm-hmm. Do you guys see Dak Prescott as being the guy that can win us games in the postseason? And plus, I'm going to add this 2-part question here. Are there 9 other quarterbacks better than Dak Prescott to keep him up out of the top 10 or what have you? Is he a top 10 quarterback?
That's yes to the first, and there's no to the second one. There's not 9 quarterbacks better than him.
Right.
And yes, he can win in the postseason. I've seen him perform excellent in the playoffs. Period.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, he had. To my count, he's had one horrible playoff game, and we just saw it. I know it's what is it? Recency bias.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I watched him perform versus the Packers. I watched him win us the game versus Seattle, and I watched him perform versus the Rams. Everybody forget that. But it's kind of hard to beat a team when they run for 200-something rushing yards.
Right.
It's just hard.
It's hard.
I watched him about that game. And he was firing. I mean, it's gonna make me sad because one of them, Mark Cooper. But it's I try to open up wounds. I'm just saying, I watch Dak when he's given any type of an asset, he takes advantage. Mm-hmm. Now, a young Dak was struggling with Hearns, but when you give him a little bit of an asset, like Randall Cobb or something like that, I've watched him take advantage. Mm-hmm. So I have no doubt, like to Tuck's point about our new receivers, I would be more nervous if this was the second year Dak was a lot more unknowns. But what he has showed me in this 6th year going into year 7, that boy worked hard.
Yeah, he worked. Yeah.
Right. He worked hard. And to hear the and I know you can't buy into every story, but to hear the dialogue he's been having with Tolbert, and
even before the draft.
Yeah, working on
right.
And when you hear Tolbert talk, man, it do make me smile. Like, not to sound corny, but when he's talking about he's talking about spacing and where to come down in his route, and not just I'm more athletically talented than everybody on the field. Like, he's talking nuance already, and I'm like, this young dude might be a little bit different. When you watch his tape, and I know I'm getting into the tape game a little bit. Y'all don't laugh.
There you go.
But just when you watch some of the way he can change speeds when he runs routes, like veteran type route running, you look at him and you say, oh, he can really become a very valuable asset in year 1 just because of his work ethic. He says he's been in the playbook heavy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about him as if he needs to be the end-all be-all. He just needs to be our 3rd best receiver. I know James Washington hasn't been on the field, But I also heard that Dak has something to do with them going after him too.
Yeah.
Dak is looking for specific type receivers. He was a Biletnikoff Award winner coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
He can definitely play the receiver position. It's just when you're playing on the latter years of Ben Roethlisberger and you're playing with receivers, when you're an okay quarterback, you find your favorite receiver and you lock onto him. Unfortunately, Mason Rudolph and they didn't have that connection with Washington, and I feel like his valuableness with that team kind of slipped.
Yeah.
Advantage Cowboys, because I think we get a decent receiver that, because he don't got to all James Washington has to do is be somewhat good as what we had with Cedric Wilson. He just got to be a good 4. You know what I'm saying? I know what you would say is, okay, so where does Gallup come in? And I feel like we're going to be missing Gallup. I'm going to say top 6 games. That's the high end. If you want to be optimistic like me, you go somewhere in the middle at like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I don't think Gallup going to be gone most of the year. I'm really encouraged by seeing him. I thought I was going to see him in a walking boot.
Yeah.
You know, to see him actually just moving a little bit. I'm like, okay, that would be July, August, September, October. That's another like 4 months. Can I see us seeing Gallup in mid to late October? Can we sustain that long? I know what we can sustain that long with. I can pass it to you, Law.
Well,
it's real simple.
Well, the thing is with Gallup, I really want them to slowly bring him into the folds. I don't want them to rush him, because the last thing I can see is Jarwin being rushed out there and then he hurts something else. So let's slowly move him into the mix. Now, quite possible, week 1, this is our lineup for wide receiver against the Buccaneers. CeeDee Lamb, James Washington in the slot, and your other outside wide receiver, Jalen Tolbert. Or CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert in the slot, and TJ Vasher. I want to know from you two. Are you buying the TJ Vasher as an outside wide receiver?
I'm gonna throw that lob to Tuck.
Go ahead, go catch it, Tuck.
Yeah, man.
I've been thinking that since last year.
You kind of put me in a situation where I'm talking
Come
about.
on, Troy Aikman. You picked Troy Aikman. Come on.
Talking about both my children, man, because Jalen Tolbert was somebody. I found Jalen Tolbert way during the season, and when I found the kid, the one thing that stood out, I watched this film, of course, and I watched the interview, because Jalen Tolbert, and I said this on Twitter, if he would have went to LSU, he wasn't falling to the Cowboys at the 3rd round pick. So he was getting offers to go to the transfer portal, but he said, no, I want to stay at a small school to prove that small school players can still play and kind of be that front runner for, others behind him. So I was like, yeah, that's a leadership mentality. So I continue to dig in. TJ Vasher last year, man, I was talking about, slapping pits on the back of TJ Vasher's jersey and trying to get me a knockoff brand out there, because I just love his huge catch radius and what he's able to bring. So
he the great value. He the great value pits.
That's what I'm saying. Like Lord, you go get him some hard 8 down there, man. Give him some barbecue, put some sides on him. You know what I'm saying? We can do something with TJ Vasher. But I like TJ Vasher. He's still skinny. His route tree is very limited, but he has big playmaking ability. And where the Cowboys have lacked in so long, right? It's in the red zone. The red zone. So you kind of have that player who can just go get it. Now, here's my question and my concern when it comes to the Cowboys wide receiver core. I saw someone mention that in the chat. We have a lot of wide receivers that are kind of built the same and do the same thing. That's my concern. When we look at Jalen Tolbert, he's kind of a CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup type build. He kind of has James Washington. It kind of has a Gallup. So it's like they kind of do that same thing.
Right.
Versus I would like to add like some little flavor in there to kind of get that slot that can cut in and out, that underneath guy. So I think Jalen Tolbert can emerge to that. But coming out for that first game, if you give me Jalen Tolbert and CeeDee Lamb and James Washington and maybe TJ Vasher, though, I think the Cowboys are high on Noah Brown just for whatever reason. For blocking ability, I was roll with that. I'm okay with it, but it just isn't the same. It doesn't give me the same confidence boost as I had last year when we went to Tampa and I had those weapons in Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, and Amari Cooper. So I think that's going to take some adjustment. But here's my confidence. You answer your original question, Law. yes, I'm 1,000% confident in Dak Prescott being the quarterback that can win in the playoffs. And absolutely, I think he's a top 10. I think he's actually top 6 is where I have him as far as quarterbacks is concerned. But my concern with Dak this season is that I don't want Dak pressing. I don't want him feeling like he has to take this team on his shoulders, his offense on the shoulders, if things kind of waver a little bit, because I've seen that in some cases. You kind of go back to what happened in Kansas City. And also, if you look back what happened in Vegas and Thanksgiving, like he eventually figured it out. But I feel like sometimes he can start to put everything on his shoulders, which I don't want Dak to do. So I think that's going to be very important that he stays healthy, one, in during camp, so he can get every rep that he can with this wide receiver core, which he wanted to do last year before the shoulder injury. But I think once things kind of settle, yeah, Dak and his offense will be perfectly fine. I just don't think it's going to be as explosive as it was last year out the gate. So we're going to have to be patient. That's something I've been preaching on my channel, on Twitter. Be patient with this team, y'all, because it's not going to be instant fireworks. If we come out and we throw 45 times again and have a fireworks game versus Tampa, I would be shocked, to be honest with y'all. So I think it's going to be a slow play.
Hey, before you respond, Mr. Rome, Coach Marv, you gotta re-put your question down, man. I didn't get a chance to catch it. So place your question so that these guys can answer. Coach Marv, been a pillar of the community, man, just been the chat hero and warrior out there, man, and always bring us good insight.
Appreciate
So prepare that question again, Coach Marv, and I'm waiting on it, man. I know he probably typing like this. Shout out to Coach Marv, man. Well, while I'm searching for it, Mr. Rome, man, talk to me, man.
I got something a lot to piggyback off what Tuck said, right? He's talking about our offense taking a while to gel. You know what I'm saying? Finding its way in the area of department, you know, and I'm a fan of laws before, you know, I'm in the community too when I ain't on the, you know, and I already know what Law preach. I know what my boy Tuck preached. I even know what my boy West Coast preached. We talking running the football.
Oh, yeah.
That first game, I'm going to throw it to the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? That first game, you want to get Tyler Smith comfortable. You want to get Zeke comfortable. That first game is not going to be the fireworks show because Tampa is dealing with what we dealing with. Remember, Godwin hurt. They got shuffling on their offensive line. They don't got Gronk. They don't got AB. So to find their way too. If I know Tom Brady like anyone else knows, he a strategist. They gonna try to run the ball too. Now, if you seen playoff Lenny lately, he looking like me, and that ain't a compliment. He looking a little heavy. You know what I'm saying? I seen Leonard Fournette. He ain't looking like Zeke. I know everybody want to hate on Zeke, but because he's working out, when we used to hate on Zeke because he wasn't, and now we hating on him because he is, but that's another story for another day. My point is, I got the Cowboys, and I know it's a long shot because we know Kellen Moore is somewhat stubborn. But if he's smart, we come out a lot more balanced. We come out to get – that's the best way to get a young offensive line comfortable. Get them moving forward and not falling back on their heels. So we come out in that first game, and it's probably not going to be more running pass. But let's just say we come out that first game, and it's 55-45 or 60-40, which is excellent. If it's 60-40 and we getting Tony Pollard the ball and we being smart with the passing game and like using our weapons, because Tony Pollard is a weapon. And we're using Ezekiel Elliott, and we just going out there and we establishing our will. We letting Tyler Smith do it probably what he's best at right now. Go out there and maul somebody. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Still's some of his best tape last year was actually coming off the ball and being physical. Zach Martin. So we use that. I'm telling you, that first game, it's not going to be 35-32. That first game, I can see if I got us winning, argue about that in the comments. I can see the game being 20-17, kind of like that Rams game from 2 years ago. I can see it be a low-score game and being smart about your passing game, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may. But I don't think it's going to be no fireworks show on either side because AB and Gronk ain't walking through that door.
But here's what I'll say about that. we'll know everything we need to know about the season that first game. Because like I said, I was there in Tampa last year. If we hand the ball off to Zeke that first drive, he gets stopped for 1 yard. We do it again, 2-yard gain, and then we go 3 and out. Kellen Moore going to abandon that run.
Yeah.
And here we go. You know what I'm saying? So that's where like it really comes down to the scheme and the focus of this offense, like to commit to the run game. And I agree with you, Ron. Like you have a young guard or tackle, whatever you want to call him, and Tyler Smith, keep him going forward. Let him get into a rhythm. You not want a rookie guard dropping back 45 plus time in pass pro, because that's going to be free lunch, because they're going to send the house, because they're going to make the Cowboys prove they can beat them with someone else besides CeeDee Lamb initially. So yeah, run the ball.
No, to Doug's point, I want to ask you, do you think, because running game, it seems like we game is an afterthought. We have great running backs. We have good offensive line. And they just like, well, just run the ball, figure it out. Do you think that Kellen Moore may have went to the drawing board and drawn up some actual good run schemes? And not just because it seems like the passing game is schemed out. Then the run game be like, hey, man, run behind Dak.
But here's the thing. You got to be stubborn. You got to have that mentality to say, man, I got 2 yards. Let me do it again. It seemed
like we did last year for like 10 minutes. I swear earlier in the season.
Week two, they did it.
Week 2, yeah, you right on the money. Week 2, because we gave them so much heat.
Right.
We gave them so much heat because we were averaging 6.5 yards per carry on the edge against the Buccaneers. And what we did was we played into their hand. And it was on the road. 2 things travel. Defense and that running game. You got to stay stubborn enough to say, hey, I'm going to get this. And 4 times 3 is first down. So you got to make sure to say to yourself, even I'm getting these 4 yards. And I think that Ezekiel Elliott, he averaged 4.5 yards per tote last season collectively. And our boy Tony Pay averaged 5.5, which put him pretty much first place in the National Football League for the majority of it. I think he finished second. So the Cowboys, when they playing that cover 4 quarters defense or 2 high shells, that's when you say Jake Ferguson, Dalton Schultz. Hey, this is going to be a football game.
You're going to get stuck. Don't say 12.
Hey, I already know. Look, Tuck, you play linebacker, right? Yeah. At some point, when you say they passing all day, if y'all you can say, well, shoot, coach, I ain't saying that you asked to be out of the game, but you like, well, shoot, it's light body, you know.
I don't like banging with a tackle and banging with a tight end, chipping off, and it's just too much, you know. So I like the cute stuff, you know.
Especially with 12, you know, you sitting there like, come on, man.
But before we look,
I agree.
Run the ball.
12 formation gonna be critical.
It's chess. You run the ball. You come out. You not only establish stuff, run game. You establish your line. You also keep your defense fresh.
Yeah.
Because the first 6 weeks, like I said, let's just say hypothetically, that's Gallup's time. Before we feel like we can start opening up the passing game. You know, when they're trying to bracket CD and force it, and you got to go somewhere else with it, Dak. What's the best way to open up the passing game? You got to come on down to this box because we're going to run you over.
He'll run you over.
Man, I don't know why this should be feel like if McCarthy know this year might be it no matter what. So I would be like, look, Kellen, I'm going to let you rock. But if you act stupid, I'm going to start calling. What he got to lose? He going to get fired anyway.
Yeah. and that's my concern in part is I just don't, when you ask about creativity in the run game, I just don't think that's in Mike McCarthy's DNA. But also, I don't think it's in Kellen Moore's DNA. So it's just like, you know, because like the thought process with me, like I said, I told my viewers, I am not making another video about how to use Tony Pollard and Zeke at the same time on the field. We made too many videos. Just use the 2 from last year, right? But I just feel like they just need to be more creative, and they can actually have Tony Pollard and Zeke in the backfield at the same time, because technically in 11 formation, you can use Tony Pollard as a wide receiver, or you can put him in motion. So there's so many ways you can get creative with both of them out there and create a dual threat. And I've always said I like to see Tony Pollard's kind of your opener and Zeke be your closer, your wild thing. That fourth quarter, we should all play wild thing at the stadium. Here comes Zeke out. Close the game.
Wait a minute. You saying Zeke the closer?
Zeke's the closer. Yeah.
And now, do you think now we know? Look, I love my guy Zeke, man.
I hear him.
You think he's willing to do that? Basically,
Yeah, I mean, he gonna get some reps throughout the game, but I mean, like when it's really fourth quarter time and we up, like that's when we really run the ball. Cause that's where when Zeke gets in.
Wait a minute, did he do that with Carlos Hyde? God, I thought you watched Ohio State, huh?
I'm trying to remember, trying to think back. Crazy, they've been in the league 7 years.
Yeah,
You
might be onto something. Zeke might do that. They
spelled a little bit, but that's Zeke's strongest point. When the defense is rolling down, you hit him on the edges, you hit him, and in the screen game with Tony Pollard, and here you are up in the third, late fourth. You just run that rock with Zeke right behind Tyler Smith and Ty Smith with them big horses, and get up out there with a victory. Like that's just it's not going to be cute. It might not be a 40 burger.
It's a lot of pride, though, man. It's a pride because you saying basically he's a backup.
A backup.
But you know how they, you know how football is. Whoever opened up the snaps.
You can be a backup, you know what I'm saying? But he's still getting starting money. So
how about this?
I'm sure he's gonna be cool with it. But it's like, I think that they have to start using both of them because it's just the way that I think the Cowboys are structured. You have to utilize Tony Pollard. You got to give him more touches. Whether it's going to be runs, screens, play a wide receiver, you got to have the ball in that player's caliber's hand, but you also can't, fully neglect Zeke. So I feel there's a way you can use both of them.
Yeah,
like I said, Kellen Moore at me.
What's the magic number, fellas?
It's 25 for me, and I don't care how they slice it. Just it could be 5 totes, but you got to get to 5 totes for 120 for the other. It's 25. That's the magical number.
How many offensive plays we gonna run? 70?
60, 65 probably, give or take.
60. So Dak throw for 32, 33, because I'm cool with that number. He's gonna be right over 30, right? You give Zeke 16 carries, and you got to get you give Zeke 16 to 17 carries, right? Carries. Tony Pollard got to get 10 touches a game.
Right.
Touches. Just no matter how you just touch
screen,
it.
Screen.
If it's 7 carries, because he'll make 7 carries count, and you got to give him three passes at least. That helped Dak out. You talking about a shifty slot?
Hey, one thing I can tell you, what I don't want Dak to do is throw that ball anywhere between 28, 30, 40 times. I don't want to see him do that.
Yeah, and
no knock at him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like the Cowboys just need to find an identity. Like that's my biggest frustration from last year. If you want to be this high-powered, high-octane passing team, well then load the clip and go all in on your passing game. But it's like they want to be a passing team, but then sometimes they kind of, and like when things really waver, that's what San Francisco was able to do. When things kind of hit the fan, they know their identity. All right, we're gonna get back to this run game. We're gonna get the ball in Deebo Samuel's hand, and we're gonna get back to who we are. I don't know who the Cowboys' identity is offensively. I don't know. Like, do y'all know?
Look at all. Look at all the offenses the legitimately good passing offenses. They have good running games. It's not that they're running with the identity of running like Titans. It's just like Patrick Mahomes. When he got off kilter last year a little bit, they started running the ball. Now it's a hodgepodge of running backs usually, but it don't matter. Look at Aaron Rodgers and them. Aaron Rodgers gets a whole bunch of credit, but Dylan and the other dude, forgot his name, Jones, they be toting that rock in Green Bay. They just don't highlight it because they're gonna put Aaron Rodgers in the front of everything. Even the Rams. Yeah. Look, Sean McVay ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna run that football. That's why when Cam Akers came back, you know what I'm saying? But everybody talk about Matthew Stafford, but on the low, at the end of the game, you be like, the Rams ran for 110. Yeah, they running the ball.
They ran it. It's really running the football. I would look back at Pat Mahomes' first Super Bowl. It was the running back, Williams, that did everything. And then the very next year, what they do, they drafted another running back from LSU. Yeah. So it's always a football game of running the rock. But the illusion is, hey, I'm passing. Joe Mixon was no one to sneeze at last year, by the way.
Beast. You're right.
Beast. Yeah. Balance is the key. That's what somebody said over here.
Yeah, balance. That's
what right. I don't want to see. I want Dak to have his moments because I got faith in him. But I don't want to see him dropping back 45 times. That no one really wins like that in the league. I can't point to one person that's just throwing the ball 40 to 50 times.
It's exciting. Like I said, we was on the edge of our seats in that Tampa game, but it's like, I agree with you, man. Like, you can't win consistently having your quarterback just drop back and toss 45 times. I don't care who your quarterback is. Like, even here in Kansas City, they are trying to get away from that with Pat Mahomes because eventually things are going to crack. So it's all about balance. But yeah,
since you're in Kansas, man, what happened to Pat Mahomes in that second half against Cincinnati? Why nobody talk about him getting shut down?
Hey, man, when you don't play for the star, man, you get passes for everything, man. So it's just like
I ain't never heard about it, not once. They bring it
up not a Pete. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I just felt like a lot of people here in Kansas City are kind of blaming Eric Bieniemy versus Pat. I guess there was a rift between the two on the sidelines or whatever, but I just felt like they crumbled, and it was the Bengals' day, and the Bengals kind of had their number. Now I know that the Chiefs are going to be foaming at the mouth for blood this season when they run it back, but it's going to be interesting because, like I said, when it comes to Dak, Aaron Rodgers, and also Pat Mahomes, like they're going to have some pressure on them to make sure that the quarterbacks kind of stay the focal point as far as the market's concerned. Because if they sit back, let's say Pat Mahomes struggles without Tyreek Hill and Aaron Rodgers struggles a little bit without Adams and Dak struggles a little bit, these wide receivers going to sit back and say, oh, we're more valuable than what y'all been saying we are.
That's what the key is right now.
Yeah. So it's like, it's going to be interesting to see because that's the huge question mark. We are all fans of Sky Moore. We did, high mocks on him in the draft, but is he Tyreek Hill? We'll see. And so, how is that really going to change where people are going to sit back and play the Chiefs and be like, all right, we're going to take Travis Kelce away. You don't have to beat us with Juju Smith-Schuster in this rookie and see how good you really are. And so it's a lot of question marks.
Speaking of those receivers, let's swing it back to our number one, 88. If you think that our front office ain't showed you nothing, they showed you that they petty. They will it. They'll throw. They don't care about winning, and when it comes to being petty, obviously you see where Amari Cooper playing. If you think that they ain't got a mandate to Kellen Moore, I don't care what you do. I bet you CeeDee Lamb better get that ball because I'm not gonna look wrong. CeeDee Lamb about to get so many targets because just out of sheer pettiness, they're gonna make sure he get the ball because they're not gonna look wrong. Right. They refuse to let if Amari Cooper came out firing. Let's just say I ain't gonna bring up the Watson thing. That's a whole nother story. But if Amari Cooper came out firing and he's getting 100 yards there, 100 yards there, we're going to throw the whole scheme to the wind. And they're going to be forced the ball because Jerry and Steven they're not nothing, they petty. They just let Amari Cooper go for a 5th-round pick because they petty.
Oh, I mean, so you right on the man.
Right now, they're going to force CeeDee Lamb to be a star because they don't want to look wrong.
I can actually see that, and that is not – that's not even one of those. but here's Coach Marv. Now, this is a brilliant point by Coach Marv. He says, would we have all of these questions, the many questions that we have about this current team and roster if we had McVay, Kyle Shanahan, or Bill Belichick? Would we be still talking about this and that?
No, not at all.
About what they can do with this young talent.
Hey, to that degree, there was a Super Bowl or such or two in there, even in the Romo era. And I'm not just bringing up Romo for the sake of bringing up Romo, but it goes back to like coaching. Come on, like let's be real. Right. If you put a different coach, and there's no shade or salt thrown at good old Jason Garrett, and I just look at this team. This is how this goes. As above, so below. When you have chaos above, hear me out, everybody. Write that down. As above, so below. When you have chaos upstairs, when the people are fighting over the things that we don't see, but it's there, it's tangible for them and intangible for us. It trickles down and it permeates through the locker room because I'm quite sure that Kellen Moore wasn't really for Mike McCarthy. None of the guys in the past speak for each other. So now, as above, so below.
And I said that on Twitter. Like, Cowboys fans will spend so much time focusing on Dak versus Romo, the players, but not realizing the system that's been around both of them in the front office. If you take Tony Romo, like I said, send him with Sean Payton to the Saints, his win trajectory, his career is completely different than what it is here in Dallas. Like, you even look at Mike McCarthy, and like, me and Mike, we've gone back and forth, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like from the standpoint, like, the things that you hear him say, right? Dan Quinn, he had to have a conversation, say, hey, man, if you want me to leave, then I'll leave and make things easier for you. Like, what coach should have to have that conversation with a coach on his staff that he brought in that, hey, you might have to leave for the sake of my job?
Can you say that again? Because, God, boy, you bring it up. Say that one more time, man. Like, they put you on the big screen.
What coach should have to go through a situation where a coach that he brought in to fix this defense, now he's competing back and forth, where that coach is feeling like he has to take another job just for the sake of you to be able to do your job? And so, I feel like it's a give and a curse when it comes to Mike McCarthy, because my biggest knock with Mike McCarthy, y'all, is like, all right, Mike McCarthy is known as an offensive coordinator guy. He's a quarterback guru. Well, if you're not working close with Dak Prescott, right, and you're not hands on the offense, just like on Office Space, what is it that you say you do? If you want to say, okay, I'm the motivator of men, well, the team said they was nervous before the playoff game. So you failed there. So it's like, all right, Mike McCarthy, I really need to see this season, where does your value really come into play? Because
I need to ask you this, because I'm going to tell you right now, man. At first, I didn't want Big Mike, right? Yeah. But I said, man, a couple of weeks ago, and some people still ragging me for it, I said, I'm feeling Mike now, man. That's my dude now, man. Especially back-to-back seasons, getting fined or what have you. Got to fine $100,000 for being too physical. Look, I'm Team Mike right now, man. So what's your thoughts? You froggy on Mike?
Man, so I wanted Mike. I sent the tweet out like, hey, Mike McCarthy be a great hire. First season in 2020. What? Yeah. I feel like he would, because out of the names out there, people were talking about Urban Meyer, you know what I'm saying, and Lincoln Riley. I was like, nah, I would take Mike McCarthy over those two. But the initial reaction, the clock management, the going for it on fourth downs in bad situations, I just wasn't for it. But then it kind of grew on me. Okay, well, that's our expectations. We're going to be a lot aggressive. This past season, I realized, all right, he's not as bad as some people may say, because like you said, he's dealing with so many different factors. Right. Like I said, when it comes to Mike McCarthy, I feel like he would be the best coach for the Dallas Cowboys if those guys upstairs was not in the way. Because I feel like he wants to change the culture. He wants it to be more tough. He wants it to be more close to the chest, more blue collar. But nah, it's like if right now you guys have a job and your boss says, you know what, I'm gonna sit on your phone calls, you can't say no. It's the same thing with Mike McCarthy. When they say, you know what, we're gonna sit on your press conference, he can't say no. So he's sitting up there like a bump on a log while Steven and Jerry get this whole circus and show the draft board and all this stuff, but he really ain't for. So it's kind of hard to really judge Mike McCarthy in this circus situation. So I feel like ultimately he's a good coach, but he might not be the coach for Dallas.
Law. You got to play the conspiracy music again.
But you finna open up over here, man.
Listen. Tuck was preaching, because you talked about Garrett. I ain't gonna go back past Garrett. Okay. Garrett and Mike might have been able to do more if it wasn't for, like you said, so above, so below. How'd you say it?
Yeah, as above, so below.
I'm telling you, if they could just do their job,
right,
we might see different results. It's sad, because I know Mike tired of people saying you incompetent. And he like, I can't really do nothing. Right. You're talking about a coach that has to somehow win without using your full assets as a football team. Right. Hey, go ahead and produce, but you don't even get free agents. What'd you say?
Right.
Like, man,
as above, so below.
Yeah, like, it's like he got two. We got two to play with. 2 free agents this all season.
Yeah,
set this man up for failure, man.
We got 2 in the possible, because we might still be doing.
Hey, like you said, Jay Tucker, you reminded me, man. I didn't even know, man. I forgot all about it. Hey, man, if you want me to leave, you know what? I would leave. Yeah, I know what's going on. He had to hear something that was going on, a conversation in passing, and he like, oh, Oh, that's how the front office. You know what, Mike? If you want me to leave, man, dog, you know what? I go take this job elsewhere because they knocking at the door. You want me to go?
Right.
Jay Tuck, you want me to go, man?
Right. Our new defensive coordinator has came in, saved our defense, and that all the defensive players love. He might have to leave just for the sake of saving the head. You know what I'm saying? But I brought
hey, Rome, you want me to go, man? You want me to go? Because I can leave so you can continue to elevate, because low key I heard what he said. He want me to be in charge, man. And I know that make you feel some kind of way. You want me to go? You want me to go, man?
After he's went 12-5, after he's went 12-5 and won the division with the first year under your quarterback, hey man,
they cutting off their nose and spite their face. Because why would Quinn really want this job if he getting to watch the sausage get made? Pause.
Right.
And why would Sean Payton wants, as much as he cool with the Joneses, you know, he like, because look, Mike McCarthy said him and Sean Payton got a relationship.
Yeah.
Right. You think Mike, hey man, if you can't get that good TV money, you don't want none of this. Like, don't even come over here. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sad because it's like, like I said, I brought the free agency thing. It's like going into the game, you know, we were talking about running the ball. Hey, all you could do is run the ball today. What if we need to pass? No, we do not pass. Like, our organization refuses to do certain things to win because we got a stubborn front office that puts their – remember we had that text conversation about the musical chairs we did in the Raiders game? Was it the Raiders game?
Yeah, there was the offensive line.
You think that was coming from the coaches? Right. That wasn't filming them.
And here, I'll put a situation out there, right? So let's say, for instance, Mike McCarthy said, you know what, we want to move on from Tristan Hill. And the front office and Stephen Jones comes down and says, nah, bro, we want that comp pick. Who wins that conversation?
All day.
You know, and so that's the problem. You know, like everyone wants
Sean Payton. Home.
Right, yeah.
Go home.
We'll send you home before we give up that comp pick, bro. So that's the thing. Is like Mike can't fully cook with the front office. And like people want Sean Payton. Like we saw what Sean Payton did to the Saints cap before he did. You know
my God.
He wants to spend money, blow money, and whatever. Will he be able to have that freedom in Dallas? I don't think he will. So why would he want this job?
Go all in. I see to Tuck's point. We can't just have him for 2-3 years, right? And if it don't work out, we can just look forward to that top pick.
Right.
Only time we get a top pick is somebody got to break their leg in half. Like, oh God, here we go. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Tony got hurt. We got lucky with Zeke and stuff like that. If somebody don't get hurt, we don't get top picks. Other than that, it's just we cool with even kill.
Let me ask you this, Law, and everybody in the chat. Do you think the Cowboys made moves this offseason that they're going all in on winning the Super Bowl?
Oh my God! You want to go first, Rome, or let the chat go? Or what you want? You want
everybody in the chat? Let me know because people say Tuck tripping. You know what I'm saying? Not to win the division, not to maybe get a cool little divisional, to win the Super Bowl. Do you think that was the mentality the Cowboys went in this offseason?
I got two ways for it. Since I'm gonna be bipartisan with this, I'm two ways.
It's just luck. They living off luck. I know football is a big game. It's luck or hope, one or the other. That's it. We got a lot of potential, and they're just hoping that we luck it to. Oh, this is really team. But to your point, no, they not. What does they say? What is that phrase? Luck is only when preparation meets. What is it? Y'all know that phrase?
Yeah, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but we leaning on the luck, and we ain't doing nothing with the preparation. As far as let me put the best, we ain't putting the best possible assets around this team. Like we know that Anthony Barr will make this team better. I ain't even saying he's the best linebacker, but we know that small stuff like that, or bringing in a veteran D tackle or a legitimate swing tackle. We know, or you know what? Let's get a veteran receiver real quick while Gallup's out, so Toby don't have all this pressure. We know how this works. I ain't even no expert, but the team's like, nah. Let's just hope that every young player turn out.
All of them. And here is what happens, right? Because we know how they work, right? Let's say we start off 0-3. Oh, the Cowboys are making a move to bring in Will Fuller. And then we go sit back like, okay. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they did with Amari Cooper. Like, they sat back. They thought they were perfectly fine. Then it broke. And it's like, all right, now we have to fix it. And you pretty much had to overcompensate to fix it. So it's like,
you know, I got my button ready.
Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
So it fits right in. It fits right in because we don't know the evidence that doesn't exist. Here's the thing. We were 12-5 last year, not 5-12. So 9 times out of 10, when you have a good record, you don't have to replenish as much. Now, before y'all pull out the butter knives to shank me, hear me out. Put the knife down now. Put it down. You know, here's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys live in this realm of what you just said, J Tuck. When it's crash and burn time, then they'll try to figure out ways to put out the fire. Then they would say, okay, let's go get an Amari Cooper. Oh, we doing all that we can. If this team look at this situation and say to themselves they were 1 or 2 players away, they should have went with it. But what they did simply is they really believe in their philosophy, and they looked at it that they were 12-5, and they looking at us as idiots and saying, man, we truly believe in the draft. We got the best run blocking guard. Now he's going to be switched to guard out of Tyler Smith, right? Nobody blocked better than him in this particular draft, right? He had the highest grade. Oh, excuse me. They went and got the guy with the second most sacks in the college league or what have you, or collegiate league or what have you, and his name is Sam Williams. They truly believe in Sam Williams, and it won't be hard for them to sell that, just like they sold Jalen Tolbert on us. So those 3 elements right there, they really high on it, and they got to wait. They got to wait until training camp hit, and if those guys don't pan out, then they will pick up the phone and start calling one of these guys.
Look, that's my thing, though. Why you can't do both?
Right.
They don't do that. They don't operate out there. Oh, yeet, with little faith. What Morpheus said? What Morpheus is that? It really air you breathing?
Yeah, man. I can have faith in all the rookies and be like, this your new teammate, Anthony. And this, right? You can have faith in, you can have supreme faith in Tolbert and be like, hey, Fuller's our deep threat. We need a little bit of that around here. And that's fine, Tolbert. You don't have to come out and think you got to go for a G. You can matriculate. You're young. It's fine. Nah, Dallas is like, and it's not that I don't have faith in Tolbert, but there's a lot of pressure bust pipes. And y'all, you don't want everybody in the locker room like, hey, man, this whole team gotta work.
Right. Yeah. And I said this last year, man. I felt like last year was one of the worst things that could happen to the Dallas Cowboys because it worked. Right, they was able to get a J-Ron Curse find that gym. They was able to get a Malik Hooker and a DeMonte KZ and Keanu. So they kind of worked last year. So we can do it again. We can replenish it. Get bring in a Dante Fowler and that can replace him with Randy Gregory and get these draft picks. But think about it. If D-Law doesn't get hurt, Neville Gallimore doesn't get hurt, Micah Parsons is pretty much the only starter from last year's class. Kelvin Joseph, he wouldn't have started. Osa would have just been in kind of the rotation. You probably would have never seen from Chauncey Golston. We never saw from Simi. So this myth that the Cowboys draft well, that we get this classic and come in, this impact things out the gate, that's not the case. Last year was a no-brainer. If we would have closed our eyes and just press start and drafted Micah Parsons or Rashawn Slater, we would have had an all-pro something, right? But I feel like with the Cowboys right now,
I'll be thinking about Slater sometimes, but I don't want to talk about
Slater.
But I gotta say, video. But we're at the point where, like you said, we're thinking that Jake Ferguson, we need Jake Ferguson to be somebody, and he might not be ready.
You might not. Hey, and I want you guys don't sleep on Peyton Hendershot. Please don't sleep on him. Would you 50-50 with him? Yeah. But let me ask y'all this though. Who is the one guy that can be the difference maker for this Cowboys team in this free agency or trade right about now? One guy that can change your mind.
Trade makes it vast.
Trade make it vast because you got one trigger to pull for a trade right now.
I don't think they would give up a trade. They're not gonna give them no draft picks because they think that's gold.
Right.
They only use draft picks in emergency purposes. They don't just trade to be smart about it. So that ain't happening.
Yeah. I mean, Trill just put it like I would say like DK Metcalf. That would be the one. Like, all right, now you can see Tuck's chest post out a little bit. If we get DK Metcalf. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, now we reloaded. That would be one. Free agency, like I'm just not sold on this linebacker core, y'all. Like that's my biggest question mark defensively because you have I call him Micah Parsons in them, right? Because LVE, granted, he held up last year. If he goes down, you got Jabril Cox. You got
Harper, baby. Harper.
I mean Harper, you know what I'm saying? So
Luke Gifford.
More unproven, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
the unknown.
Yeah, some more unknown. So I feel like our linebacker depth is kind of depleted. So I would bring in Anthony Barr as well, but I don't know what the holdup is.
They don't like those 3 interceptions and 3 sacks.
They roll Anthony Hitchens in there, I'm be tight. I'm telling you, I know what they like to do.
Yeah.
Who you got, Mr. Raw? Who you got, man?
It would probably be Barr because I do feel like it's almost like you got to look at your linebacker room as if Micah Parsons don't exist because he's not just a linebacker and he's not just a DN. He a little bit of everything. So you can't look at him as a legitimate part of that room because we can't have him doing chess linebacker things. So if you take him out the room, you're like, ooh, little LVE. And I got faith in Jabril. I just got to see it. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to have.
Ooh, I didn't know I could add videos in his thing, baby. Go ahead.
And the thing I like about Anthony Barr is this. He can teach Micah some things because they have some similar attributes to their game, you know, and that veteran in him, you know what I'm saying? He can tell him, yeah, man, this is what I've been doing because I've been doing it for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Playing because he has some pass rush ability too. I mean, he ain't Micah, but I'm just saying, veteran tidbits is, you know, the small things that can make people elevate to the next level, you know, and we know Micah like a sponge. So I don't know. I really don't quite know. It ain't a money thing. We usually talking about that. We like, dang, our money type. It ain't that. I don't really know what their plan is. Because if I hear, well, I ain't going to say it. If I can, through the grapevine, if I keep hearing them saying that the money's earmarked for Micah and earmarked for this person, I'm going to run my head through a brick wall because that's it doesn't make sense. Right. The way football works, you can't plan for something 3 years from now. Somebody can tear their whole knee up and not be here 3 years from now. So that money that you hold on to, you know, oh, well, it was for him. Now who's it for? It's for the next person 3 years from now. Like, it's stupid.
And let's keep it a buck, y'all. Y'all think that, okay, it's CD Lamb's negotiation time. It's Diggs. They're just going to just get their contracts done just like that. Y'all know the Cowboys like to play games. It's going to be a whole long, drawn-out process. You know, people are going to be thinking, is Jalen Tolbert better than CD Lamb? Can we, you know, they going to muddy it up. So it's like, it ain't good like they saving this money for CD and Diggs next year.
That's the biggest line.
That's the false narrative. So I think my guy, Dan Rupert, wrote an article on it. It's like, we sitting at the top right now in cap space and nothing's being done with it. And I think that's the frustration from Cowboys fans because I talked about Randy Gregory today and a lot of people get kind of upset when you mention his name, but we could have signed Randy Gregory and signed everybody that we signed thus far and kept Amari Cooper and been perfectly fine.
With that money we have, Tuck, we can have all the players we let go still.
Wow, you ain't lying.
Like and that's the frustration part. Now think about it. Okay, now Jalen Tolbert's really just replacing, you know, Cedric Wilson, but next year he's going to be the third guy or the fourth. You know what I'm saying? That can kind of emerge. But now we need these rookies, just like my guy Skeptical Fan just says. We need the rookies to step up big. You know what I'm saying? So, you know. It just is what it is, man.
Yeah, when you start thinking about the fact that we can still have Coop and Randy Gregory and the team
and cap space, would have been good.
Yeah. Now, what you feel about Randy Gregory as you know, injury situation?
Yeah, I found out about that on happenstance. I didn't know he was hurt. But
I just found out about it today. Yeah.
But I mean, I ain't never been one. I ain't that type of dude. He ain't with the Cowboys, but I ain't got time to I don't got time to be putting that energy out there. I ain't hating on him. I hope he have a great career in Denver. It ain't my problem. Unless if he was with a rival in our division, then I'd be like, nah, I hope he's trash. But you in Denver. So unless we play in Denver, I ain't here to hate on Randy Gregory because it ain't that deep. I think the way everything went down was messed up anyway. But you know what I'm saying? As far as what Tuck was saying, bring it back to our team, I don't think there's another Randy Gregory on the team right now until someone shows it.
Right.
But, you know, me, if I can look at what some of the potential of some of the players, because they're different types. Like Sam Williams, even if he could turn into a great pass rusher, his his style of pass rush is different than Randy's.
Right.
He's just different. He's not bendy. He
Right.
more they both got it. He's more just first step and speed around the corner and with like one or two counters. Right. You know, Randy really grew into a pass rusher. He had a little toolbox with him. You know, so we're gonna have to see. Dante Fowler is the wild card because if his thing was more so lack of motivation from playing in Atlanta and the fact that he was hurt, if he comes out uberly motivated, i.e., what's my man that played for the Bears that we had, Robert Quinn.
Quinn, yeah.
Now Quinn is crazy because he's getting like 18 sacks right now, but that's
right.
I still don't know what that's about. I didn't see that coming. But I'm just saying, motivation. People gotta act like that. Can't act like that's not a real thing. Yeah. Playing in Atlanta, feeling like you really not playing towards nothing, and you hurt, your effort kind of like, hey, man, I'm just out here for this check. You know, but when you on a team where it's not that you can say we're a Super Bowl contender or not like that, it's just more so you know you on the big stage. Fowler's like, look, man, if I turn it up, I got another check coming my way. I've seen Quinn do it. I've seen Cobb do it. So all he got to do is turn up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He like a contractor in my line of work.
Yeah, I was trying to explain about Randy Gregory today on Twitter, you know, and everyone, you know, people, because Cowboys fans, we get emotional when people leave. And the front office did it too as well, because people forget they wanted to re-sign Randy Gregory. They botched that deal, and then it was like, oh, well, we got Dorrance Armstrong. He better than you. Yes, all right, bro.
He can give you 5.5 too. He give you 6.
And that's my thing where, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to explain, if it's going to take 3 to 4 edge rushers to equal Randy Gregory, then that shows the value of that man. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people just look at the sack numbers, but they don't see the pressures, the hurries, the constant double team, like everything that Randy Gregory brought. So like Ron was saying, each individual, if you talk about Armstrong, Fowler, even Sam Williams, they all bring 3 different aspects of the game. But see, I'm not a fan of rotation because it allows them to kind of get out of a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? So if Sam Williams is kind of that guy, like Sam Williams needs to be the guy, because if you kind of have this rotation, we had it last year at the linebacker position earlier on. They were trying to still work Jalen out there a little bit, and him and LVE were kind of split. Like, nah, bro, find out who's going to be your middle linebacker, and someone's still going to get hurt and roll with it. So I feel like that's what they need to do when it comes to the opposite edge rusher. If you think Sam Williams is going to be your guy, I think they're going.
Well, let me tell you my bold prediction though, right quick, before we kind of wrap everything up, unless you guys want to continue to roll. My bold prediction is that Sam is going to get 12 sacks.
Out the gate.
My bold prediction. Look. You might well whip out the Kool-Aid, man.
It's Mr. Nasty kind.
You know.
Hey, what you drinking, Tuck? That look like
what you drinking?
Water. I'm water.
It needs some Kool-Aid time.
Cool. Hey man, I don't know about 12 now.
I mean,
I say he gonna get 12. What? Watch this.
How many
I'm gonna give you guys
my
other. I'm gonna give you. Michael finna go crazy, man. Banana split crazy. Michael finna go, man.
It's Mr. Nasty kind.
You supposed to be calming down. You get me revved up.
No, I know we supposed to be calming it down, but I already said, look, 1,300 yards for CD Lamb, 16 tubs. Oh, he's going for the.
You better hope he don't. I'm going crazy. My follower count's on you to tweet it.
Hey, no. I know. Look. I know you the voice of reason on the show right now. Look, what's your one player? Your one player with the wild prediction you got, and not Dak though. You can't use Dak. Give me somebody on the team.
What you say?
Give me a wild prediction about somebody's stats, Tuck. That's not Dak.
I got Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's going for like 1,300.
Whoa! Ooh, you gotta see our face expression.
Yeah, I got 1,300 for Zeke.
Over 1,300. Yeah, man.
Hey, did he sign that jersey that's behind you? It's a signed jersey. Did he got his signature, his mama's signature on that too? He got the
and here's why I say that is because I feel like the Cowboys are going to have to lean on the run game early in the season. And I felt like Zeke, a lot of people kind of question him. I feel like coming into the season last year, he was in great shape. He had the burst until the injury. So I feel like if you see Zeke coming in fully healthy, I think Zeke's going to, with 17 games, I got him at 1,300 yards.
10 tubs, 10 touchdowns.
Hey,
10,
Law, that's not
How
crazy.
about eight or 9?
It's only crazy because I want Pollard to get some too.
Nah, but look. It's
What Pollard gonna get?
Look, he got
Here's what happens though with that. Now here's the thing that might throw a wrench into it because they don't want to pay somebody or let someone go. And if they want to move on from Zeke, you can't move on from Zeke after 1,300 and 9 touchdowns. And so if he emerges, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like
it's so crazy because Zeke was so smart, Rocky Arsenal, man, so smart to put a no trade clause in his contract. So even if he bust it wide open and I tell her bring it back, even if he do that, you can't do nothing. You got to sit there and say, hey, we can renegotiate and spread it out, but you can't get rid of it.
Right. Yeah.
I think I can see them using up both of them on some shrewd move and just moving on from both.
Wait a minute, you can't move on from Zeke. It'd be a hard cut. If he bring 1,300 yards, you're gonna be like, if he do 1,300 and Tony Pollard goes crazy.
If he don't renegotiate, because Dak's contract next year is gonna be like we talking about. If he don't renegotiate, they gonna cut him.
I feel like this could be Zeke's last year, and I think he knows that, so I think he's going to turn up.
So to y'all two statement earlier talking about let him be the closer. He like, man, you know what? I got a word for y'all, man. He said he was saying this right now.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Cause ain't no way he gonna be sitting there saying, oh, you gonna put me on the back burner and then let me use me up to cut me? No.
Yeah.
I'm on all of the touches. I'm greedy. I'm eating.
He did just play a whole season on one leg. You know what I'm saying?
If he renegotiates, what's the number?
Huh?
Let's say he say, all right, I'll work with y'all next year. I'll renegotiate, but what's the number?
I don't see like to be honest, I feel
hard,
you because ain't no way in the world he get a third contract though. Come on. Who paying their running back the third contract right now?
If he come out rolling, you talking about he's because if you like, I ain't trying to. If you look at like historical wise, his pace. If he come out rolling this year, you talking about Zeke being a person that can be rolling towards something real good. You feel me? So if he come out rolling, the Cowboys they so tied into marketing, they might look at Zeke like, I mean, it's good for business to keep Zeke around here because great assets and his star power, and then he has a resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, we'll pay for that. We'll.
I done lost O.J. Tucker. Okay.
Right,
Are you back, man? Okay.
Yeah, the Cowboys trying to get me out of there with that Zeke talk, man.
Yo, they got
See the Illuminati. See, you done mess around. Look, you done had Jerry Wayne and things come over here.
Get your damn act together.
I ain't paying no running back again, man. He said, yeah, get him out of here.
I'll put you on that side. I'll put you on that side of the room then. That's the case, you know. Oh my gosh, man.
Nah, man. If Zeke roll, they might keep it. Look, you know the team. I hate to say it, but whenever you talk Cowboys, you got to think marketing.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a good year and a resurgence, they're gonna be looking at them dollar signs like we got to keep Zeke because he jersey selling.
Right.
So, and it don't even gotta make logical sense at that point. They about this. They about this over winning. So if he's
either going to explode or he going to get the Amari Cooper treatment and he going to be frustrated and not getting no touches, and you know what I'm saying. So it's going to be either up here or down here. I don't think it's going to be no in between with Zeke.
Why do other teams got to talk about this stuff? Why we got to sit here and talk about?
Right. You're right. And I think that's the thing that some fans need to understand is like we follow this team so heavily, we kind of just know how they kind of move. Like they do funny stuff like that. We kind of look back and we'll see. Man, Zeke can't get no touches.
So Zeke would be the new bad guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't see nobody else that can fit into that.
Yeah.
D-Law, they done voted for D-Law.
Yeah. And
D-Law done got his money.
He'll be the easiest for fans to turn on because fans are kind of already half and half with Zeke anyway. So he's overpaid.
Next year they're gonna try to do it to Dak.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what's funny though? Dak gonna be like, let me go. That's cool. He'll land on his feet in 10 minutes.
And Dak's smart too. He like, Zeke, you got the no trade contract, no trade clause. Let me get that in mind.
Something like this. Trey Lance won't work out, and Dak will become a free agent, and he'll become a 49er, and I'm gonna kill myself.
Right.
Because I know it would work, and I'd be like,
ooh.
Yeah, or Zeke mess around, go to the Chargers or something.
Everybody gonna go to where it's gonna work, and then Steven Jones gonna be talking about, well, we got our draft picks, and I'm gonna lose my mind.
Man, this was a blast of an episode, man. We're gonna try to look. You guys available next week around the same time?
Let's do it.
I am moving. If I'm
moving though.
To the left, I got boxes lined up.
Congratulations on the move, though. By the way,
appreciate you, man.
How far off is it though?
I'm about 10 miles from my house right now.
Okay,
but it's actually I'm going into new construction. This is somebody else's crib.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the blessing.
Nothing like new construction, so you can walk around, and say, "I'm the first person to take a, right here."
But it's a lot of work and a lot of craziness. But I ain't saying I'm not available. I'm just saying, shoot me off this. We gonna make it work because but now the background might be weird next week. Like, yo, man,
that's okay. It'll be late. It'll be the same time, man. You guys gonna fill in for the final word, man, until the final word get back, man. If that's okay.
They vacationing, man.
They vacation. They're like, Law, I'm tired, man. We got to get some rest and relaxation. And I'm like,
no days off.
So I appreciate y'all, man, for jumping in, and we live on all platforms right now. We live on J Tuck channel, and we live also on Mr. Rome channel. So can you guys still tell people where to find and follow your content? Whoever want to go first, Troy or Emmett?
Troy. Yeah, you guys can find me on all.
Emmett go first.
Yeah, I go first. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, hey, look, it's the playmaker. It's Aikman show. But Cowboys fan talk and Cowboys_fan talk on Twitter, where we argue all day and look at talk. But I appreciate y'all fellas, man. Had a great time.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, you guys can find me on all social media platforms, JTuck151, on my YouTube channel, CFO Sports. We're getting the merch store back up and running. I know a lot of people are asking for that, so stay tuned for that. And you can also find me on W810 Radio, ESPN Kansas City, every Sunday morning with my guy Darren Smith, talking about all things sports, and we're also starting to live stream that to my channel as well. So,
oh my man, that's a wonderful thing you're doing with the radio station. And once again, Mr. Rome, congratulations on the move. I went and got the pod moves. Those guys moved from Mississippi all the way to Texas. You ever heard of that company?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they kind of load them up in the containers,
and then they'll come get it.
Yeah, them brothers was sweating like, hey, man, you gonna throw some ice water or something? I was like, nah, man, you see how much that money I paid you? You better go to that store. I went and gave you some ice water, man.
That mover's money is different.
Yeah.
That mover money. Look, hey, the amount of money I paid at the time, I had the little one. She still had the crib. I was like, you gonna set that crib up? They said they set up.
It's larger, man. Hey.
And you know how them cribs, hey, J Tuck, you ever set them cribs up in your knuckles and you try to get the little Allen wrench? I said, man, you gonna set that crib up?
Hey, nothing more frustrating, man, than trying to move with your wife, bro. You pitted the divorce for the whole entire day, man. Lift, turn, like, nah, bro. Call the movers.
I'm gonna have me downstairs trying to get the dryer. And she up there.
I'm lifted.
Look. Anybody can lift the dryer. It's that washer, man. That washing machine. You that little leg.
And them stairs. Nah, man. Nah, get them movers.
Because when you move yourself, it never get back in the same. It's a big scratch down the left side of your dresser, like trying to do it yourself. So nah, I'm gonna have somebody come up in here and get this stuff.
Yeah. Make sure they tape them drawers up too, man. Your drawers, tape them up. You gotta put some tape around that thing and wrap it around. But hey, y'all, it was a blast. I appreciate those who subscribe. I thank those who donated. Shout out to Coach Marr for the $5 holla. Appreciate you. He says, great. He said, remember, fellas, how great is Zeke in a run-first offense, hurt leg, and still one of 6 backs. Because he was top 7 in the National Football League last year. Hey, man, he'll do gorilla crazy numbers over there in 49ers land, by the way.
Whoa. let's not put that into existence yet.
Let's not put it in. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
It's my fault. It's my fault. I'm sorry.
but I appreciate y'all. One love, Cowboy Nation, to everybody and beyond. Let me put the graphic up here, man, since I worked hard on taking this graphic right here. Here we go. Yeah, man. So we got Jay Tuck. Michael Irvin, which is me, and then we got Rome, who's Emmett, So yeah, let's go. Appreciate y'all. DC for life. Salute.